Are we starting?
Yeah.
Hey guys!
Hey.
Welcome to this episodes of mine. This is the episodes that I'm most excited to talk about, which is the modeling experience and what is the best to have my booker from Budapest here with me, David Pinary.
Hello guys.
So David is living in Chengdu right now. So origin is from Hungarian. And I remember, so when he was here, and today, right now, it's a holiday season, it's like, let's meet up. And I'm indebted to David. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And because he's a professional model, and so many people has been asking me about what is the life of being as a model, and I think it's a perfect timing that we both could really talk a little bit more, because being as a professional model, we could share maybe a little bit through the experience or how to get started and everything. All right, so let's get started. Okay, the first and foremost, as a disclaimer, once again, I would like to say, you don't have to be a model to be a role model in life. So let's get started this topic. Okay, I started since year 2003.
Long time.
And now it's 2020.
But nothing changed. Didn't change anything.
Well, you say that as in physical wise, it hasn't changed just because it's healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
so
it's very important to be healthy.
I started year 2003. I remember, like everybody else, I was being talent scouted at the age of 13. I remember that was summer break kind of thing, and I was in front of a temple, giving out brochures, leaflet, and out of nowhere, there's someone approached me. He's like, "Hey, you look very suitable. Do you want to do a campaign shoot?" And I was 13, right? So I go home, I told my family, my mother is like, wow, someone just approached me. Should I or should I not? So fast forward, my first campaign shoot, 2003, when I was 18. So I actually have my very first campaign shoot only when I finished my education. So it was just perfect, which is really, really good. So how I first got started is, I sounded a little bit old. I don't know whether you heard about this brand. It's called Vidal Sassoon.
Oh, of course.
Yes, I mean, not exactly all people know.
But it's very famous.
Yes, very famous, Vidal Sassoon hair. So I got the campaign for the shoot. And in Malaysia, there's a cosmetic brand. It's called Silky Girl. They just started the brand, and they're looking for 3 campaign girls. So I'm the first campaign girl for that. And now the brand is already in Malaysia and Singapore. So fast forward, I started 2003 after my education. So that was university first year. So I started my studies, which is perfect, right? And what happened was, I had a relationship then. Yes, I had a relationship for 7 years.
Wow, so long.
And I would like to say that having an important support system is really important in everything you do. Support system, whether your family or your friends, to support in everything you do, whether it's a model industry or any industry. So when I first started, like everybody else, my first 5 months, my boyfriend was very supportive. Go for it. Castings, and all that. Like everybody else, I have profile maybe in 5 agencies in my countries. Yeah.
But he was pretty nice because not everybody is supporting.
And he's also in the campaign shoot too.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So he's also model.
So he was doing together as well. So but we are different, markets similar. Yeah. So we kind of always together and all that. But the most important is support. But casting, right? I have like 5 agencies. I remember my very first one. My agency is like, wow, Charlene, you're beautiful. Do you want to be as an actress? Right? Because it's like when you speak a certain language, like in my country, our universal language is like English as well, like when we work. But of course, in my country, Malaysia, is like our bahasa. We speak like our universal language, English. And if I'm like Chinese, I speak Chinese. So like when you speak so many languages, you can work so much more. So agencies saw that advantage. It's like, do you want to be as an actress? And what I did was I said no. So my first 5 years to first 7 years was I was just purely doing campaign shoot because I knew exactly what I really wanted. Like, cause everybody like working, they knew exactly what they want. They want it for money, they want it for idolize, they want it for experience and everything. But I didn't want to be like as just an actress. This is so happened what I love. So I worked for first 7 years without people knowing me. And then fast forward, I got hunted because I was always on the TV screen, right?
Yeah,
like,
I know. You did a lot of campaigns already back to 2012.
Yeah, that's
so
how.
many all over Asia.
So that's
even
how.
in Europe. So.
Yeah, thank you. So our producers saw me all over the TV. It's like, who is this girl? They're looking for a TV host. And that time, after 7 years, you have different mindset change. And that time, I tell myself, why is opportunity still coming? Okay, I will not reject right now. So from that time onwards, I accept all the opportunity, and that's where year 2012, I started to go Singapore, Hong Kong, China. And all this opportunity has been there since the first 7 years. It's just that on the 7 years, when my mindset, I will not reject any opportunities, and wow, that's where all the amazing things happen. And then I started to become as a TV host and actress. But today, we're just gonna focus about model, all right? So let's just talk about how we're gonna get started as being as a model. So we will break this into like 5 sections, so it's very clear out there for everyone that how you get started. So the first part was my bio just now. Sorry for that long wind-up. I think that was our first time listening to that.
Yeah, but it was interesting, I
yes,
think.
because it's very different, like being as an actress, being as a TV host, and trying to talk about model. But today we're just going to talk about this model whole thing. So the second part, we're going to talk about how we get started. The third part, we're going to talk about body. The fourth part, we're going to talk about mindset. And the fifth part, we're going to talk about things that could further your career. So to get started modeling, I think it's very important to be proactive. Personality, like, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you go into a casting and then people see that you are polite and you are kind and you have a good personality, you have much more chance.
Yes. So, but of course, it's like first thing you have to walk into agencies. Like I had like about 5 agencies that represented me. Yes. And they will remember you. You see, like you have to walk into agency, but do not be afraid. As in, like a lot of people may afraid of being rejected in the first place. Like in
that's why you need to go like many agencies.
Yes. And second, you have like a com card. A com card is it's like you have a photographer, like you walk into agencies. Most of agencies will prepare, like assist you, a photographer, where we'll arrange like a test shoot for you and do a really nice com card.
And I think here is a very important point that you should choose the very good photographer, because there are so many bad photographers, and so many agencies want to make money of making the portfolio. So I think it's very important that when the agency tell you like, oh, this photographer is good, you make sure, like you Google it, okay, really, is he really good? What kind of fashion work he did? So for example, I always was working with good photographers. When I did my portfolio, I was working with one of the very famous photographers who was the fashion photographer of the year many times. So I really think that it's very important when you choose the photographer, better to choose a more expensive one than to choose a cheaper one, you know, and then after you just spend the money, but your photos will be not good. So I think this is a very important.
So there's actually two ways to get started. You have agencies that arrange a photographer, which what I had. So agencies arrange a photographer because sometimes they will know that photographer that shoots that photo is that kind of picture that what they want to present for clients.
Yeah, exactly. If the agency is good, for sure they will choose a good photographer.
It's like instead of searching for a good photographer, you already know, search for the right agency, the good agencies in town. Yeah. And then with the right agency, they have all the good elements and all the everything, ingredients and photographer for you arranged. Or secondly, it's like what you said, like you could you could pay a little bit of small amount for a good photographer to have your nice portfolio done, which in a good picture, in a good way. So when you actually arrive at agencies, you already have your profile. But of course, when you arrive in your agency, it's more of you already kind of know what type of models that you see yourself already in the market. So let's just see, like, you know, David is a fashion model, like runway. He does campaign shoots as well. Same as me. I started off as a campaign shoots model first, and then runways, and eventually kind of evolved, and endorsements and stuff like that. So that com card is so important. It represents
they
you.
will choose the best photos of
it represents you. So like, of course, it's like you're not gonna like show up with like lingerie like a lot of people, you know, like. But like bikinis, I mean, in a healthy form, yes, because like sometimes they need to see like your body figure, but you know, or even like sports outfit wear.
And should be more different type of styles on
at least
the
like
com card.
5 different images.
And that's why I think it's also very important, you know, the good photographer, they always like working with a good team. I mean, there is gonna be the good stylist who's gonna bring you the clothes. They're gonna be the good makeup artist. So it's like a teamwork. It's very important.
All provided. So
the hairstylist. So
walk to agencies, get com card. Thirdly, always be in front of the mirror and find your best angle, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I think like this is so important for models in general to know what is your best angle. Like you have to practice, like for example, I have a really high cheekbone. Work towards your advantage, like what photographer may like, whether they like us for our physique, they like us for our angles and everything.
Yeah.
That's so important because it's like when during booking a job, we present in front of the camera through our best angle.
Yeah. But normally the photographer can help you, or because he will say, okay, look there, a little bit more up, a little bit more down.
Photographer,
he can see that which is your best.
But most of like.
But you should practice, of course, in front of the mirror.
If you want to already have a job and being professional, you more like I'm walking in well prepared already. Professionally, know what is my best angle and what I could offer in front of the camera, what I look good with my gaze, and you know. And that is higher chance, like 100% you could get a job because you're like so prepared on that, working on your angles as well. So and then so we have agencies, com card, work with your angle, and fourth, which is personality. To get started, I think it's very important to like brush up interpersonal skills, like communication skills, because it will help you 10 times. For example, I have a very exotic face, like
for sure. I totally agree.
I'm just like
I agree.
I'm giving an example. For example, I have this one of the most beautiful face in the world. I walk into all the agencies, all agencies love me. But if I don't have that personality, 5 minutes after when I walk out, they will not remember me.
Yeah, of course, and especially if you have a bad behavior or something.
Or like
attitude or something.
because everyone could be normal, but if you have special features, they will remember you for a certain
Yeah.
thing. So having a personality is
So important, really.
So-
I also many times I got just because of my personality,
Yeah.
and maybe the other models were better or something, but because of really my personality and because I speak the language. So this is also
speak language, speaks Chinese. Yes.
like you.
Yes, so personality is just like all these things, these 5 things is to be well prepared even before you arrive at the agencies. Like you work on your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, your personalities, make sure that you have to be to be remembered, not just being as a model. And when you get agencies, it's more like 100% you get to book a job, be it as a male or a female model, right? Because like for me, from my experience, some of my most interesting experiences, I got booked like, I got booked like some of my biggest campaign I did like Pantene Vietnam.
Yeah,
Yes, Pantene Vietnam. I did like Yamaha with Valentino Rossi for 2 years because like, because I'm Chinese, Portuguese, and a little bit of heritage. So when they book me, it's like, oh, you're perfect for Indonesia, for Singapore, for Vietnam, for Malaysia, for
everywhere.
Cambodia. Yeah, so I'm very grateful for that sense in terms of like, okay, I made like Eurasians, but like when they see my face, it's like they can book me show with 5 countries, 10 countries. But the most reason they book me, maybe because of personality.
Yeah.
They remember me through cameras. More through cameras, because I remember, like everybody else, I was like, queuing up 200 models, whether male or female, just to book for a job. But for the first 7 years, I consistently booking at least 1 campaign shoot every month. So 12 campaign shoot, so like about 70, 80 campaign shoot for the first 7 years, consistently.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. So like my personality, so what happened was agencies remember me. So what happened, they remember me, they will refer to production house, right? And when production house remember us directly, like, oh, I remember this guy, this male model, this female model, for the personality, I request the agency, I want Charlene specifically for this job, or like I want Charlene to be as a reference for the work. And then if you one step higher, like there's the advertising agencies in one campaign shoot. So what happened was in one day I got booked 3 jobs.
Wow.
Yes. So what happened was I was working for one of the job, a campaign shoot for agencies. They work, like I worked with them many times. So we have this one famous studio, something like Hollywood studio here in this country, like there's 5 studios, like white screenshot. So I was filming like for 10 hours, and then this agency just booked me for like, like shavers and like asked me to shoot. So I shoot for 3 jobs in one day in the same location. So which was perfect because of maybe is how you present your personality during your work as well.
Yeah.
So it will help. So this is how you first get started. And then let's talk about body right now. And you can see our David right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was how it gets started. The second part the third part we're gonna talk about body. So David is actually, how to say, one of the most feet conscious minded model that I've ever met.
Thank you.
Yes. So I mean, like even right now what we're having.
Very healthy food actually.
I mean, we are here in Malaysia for holiday season, so
we should eat Malaysian food, right?
yeah. You want to show what you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
The most famous dish, the nasi lemak, is one of my favorite.
So like Penang, there's a couple. I'm from like Oregon, Penang. Yes. There's nasi lemak. Char kway teow is like quite famous. It's shrimp for Penang and like chendol and rojak. You have to try. I mean, like it's a holiday season, so of course we have to have this. Okay, but let's just talk about body conscious. Being as a female model, there's always a stereotype like being anorexic. Like you have to be like a certain skinny type or whatsoever. It's completely a stereotype because
And not all the clients like that type,
yes,
actually.
yes. Not all the time, right?
Especially in China also, they don't like girls with like quite super skinny, you know. It's I think more in Europe.
What do people in China like right now prefer in China?
I mean, if you talk about female models, I have a lot of clients and they're always asking models for underwear shooting and swimwear shooting, and they always need like to have a little ass, to have a little
so it actually depends on the job perspective.
And then the client,
Yes, the job perspective in specific.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for me, I think being as a model, whether male or female model, you could be tall, you could be short. I mean, like Kate Moss, right? 5'7", which is the world famous supermodel. Yeah, and you could be imperfect, like like Winnie Harlow, Naomi Campbell, some supermodels who's imperfect, who made a huge difference in the world. Like a lot of people. Okay, a disclaimer. Let's just rewind back a little bit. A lot of people might say, really, you really don't have to be a model to be a robot.
For sure.
Yes, you just look at so many like supermodels, Winnie Harlow, Naomi Campbell, being imperfect, but you sets a difference, make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
Through a profession that you work. I think this is have to be so emphasized right here in this video to tell the people out there. So like body wise, it's like you could be tall, not very tall. You could be fit as long as you fit. I mean, even if you're voluptuous, it's perfect as long I think it's proportionate.
Yeah.
You look proportionate. It's like you're not like something out of something.
Yeah.
But you look overall proportionate. That is great. So this is one thing. Body physique proportionate. Never goes diet, like goes so way anorexic, like like that will not 100% guarantee for booking like a job. So proportionate is key. And secondly, the body as in you know exactly what you're eating.
Right? We're just eating healthy food now also.
And what's more perfect for like you to talk about? I mean, like for myself, like I respect models. I really respect models and some professional models because we are so fitness conscious. We're so health conscious. We know exactly what we put into our body comparison to any other profession. So for me, that's actually already one huge plus point in our, because like having a very healthy lifestyle, it will actually improve a person in many different ways. So having a right, knowing exactly what you eat, like having a healthy eating habit is very good. So this is from a female perspective. So I mean, from a male perspective, like is there any like body percentage that you need to have, or like certain heights?
Actually, I think the clients are not that much professional about the body percentage. I mean, the fat percentage.
It's more
but
of like
it's
the
just
male
like, I mean,
person.
I think which is very important. Like a lot of models. So I think you should keep a good shape in all year. I mean, this is very important. Like, I mean, it happened like we sent a model card to the client, and the guy was very fit on the photos, But he did this shooting like a few months ago, and then he came to the shooting and he was not in that good shape. So I think it's very important that you should be like your photos and your real person should be matching. This is very important.
Do I match?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes. So
I think it's an important point here to say. And
So as in like being in the comp card and being in person, you're exactly the same personality or same.
You cannot do it. Doesn't matter you're a female or male model, even if you're female model. You like the client chooses you by the company and he checks your sizes, and then after you go there and the sizes are not the same and you gain 10 kg, of course it's not.
So the last time I met David was year 2012, so he still looked same physique as so it's very fitness conscious, so it's like always like fitness conscious, like
constantly all year.
So okay, like one of the biggest show, like the most successful show is like Victoria's Secret.
For sure.
I mean, like if you could book one show for Victoria's Secret, I mean supermodel, you have to respect all the female models in Victoria's Secret models, because they are not 1 day or 2 days. They are like lifetime maintaining the way they eat, the way their health routine.
Yeah, so you know, so
fitness,
many people like
everything.
envy them, but they don't know that. Like, I mean, they're really working hard in the gym and checking the food and all this stuff. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody.
Yes,
can. It's that, and that's why it's what you said. It's like really connected with the mind, strong mindset and the body together.
Yes, it has to be together. But when you have able all this, you at least have more than 50% chances in getting more job. For whoever that is interested in modeling, right? Instead of not knowing anything.
I mean, modeling is not all about face. It's like 100%. You have to be good from the foot until the end of your hair.
There's a misconception about modeling. It's about a whole package.
Yeah.
Every one of you, me, all profession, we all are the same. We all are the model of our own, right?
Yeah.
And we represent ourselves in a whole package, whether be it the way we present ourselves in agencies, be it our body, our mind, and everything, right?
Yeah, right.
That's I think that's right. So so like for male model, like do you need to have like a certain heights for like runways?
For runways, for sure. I think
you
should be over 184.
In any countries like Europe?
Yeah, it's probably everywhere.
Why don't you tell them, like us, a little bit about how you got started, like your modeling, your career?
Actually, it's a very funny story how I started. My ex-girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah, cut shot.
Yeah. And so my ex-girlfriend, she was a model, and then she...
Which year you started?
Wow, this is a good question.
How many years already?
It was around 2005, 2006, something like this. So, how I started?
Runway model. In Budapest.
Yeah, so my ex-girlfriend told me to go to a beauty competition because she was also going to this beauty competition. And I said, like, no, I don't want to go, this is for girls. Like, come on, you should come. So I went there, and actually my ex-girlfriend even didn't get through the rounds, like they didn't choose her, and then after I win this competition. So this is how I started, and then after I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I have chance in the modeling. And then after, when I win this competition, I went to all the model agencies in Budapest.
Did you like proactively walking?
Yeah, I checked. I checked in Google Budapest model agencies, and again went to all of them. And that's what we were talking with Charlin in the beginning, that you should not be sad if like some agencies refuse. Many agencies refused it, many agencies said, sorry, I don't think you're good for modeling, but I didn't give up, and I became an international model, right? I mean, I was working in Japan, also Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, so many places, right? So you just need to find the right agency.
Yes. So like one tip out there, there's always a place for everyone out there, right? Yeah. It's like when you walk into a place, the agencies, they're like, you will always be perfect for an agency out there, and they'll always find you suitable. Like that's what I just said, the supermodel, Winnie Harlow, she had the pigmentation, and she's one of the most perfect supermodel. Yeah, and
so everybody has a chance. Actually,
yes. Really. So, like, there's do not just walk into the agencies. There's just always has place for you as long as you know to work on your angles, your personality, be prepared,
and also modeling can give you other opportunities. So if we go back to my example, so I told you, so I went to one agency and I made the professional portfolio, right? And the agency saw that I'm doing my job very good. I never late. I'm always on the
Are you
job.
like started as a runway model? Yes.
Actually, my first job was a catalog shooting.
Oh, that's nice.
Catalog
That's
shooting.
very nice.
So it was both. Sometimes I had shooting, sometimes I had runway shows, and exactly the agency you also working with, the Diamond Broadcast.
Yes.
So
My
the owner
agency.
of the agency saw that I'm a very good model and I'm always on time and I'm never late and I'm doing my job right. And he said like, wow, David, like you're doing everything very good. So maybe you can work in the agency as the leading booker also. And I'm like, wow. So I got other opportunities because of my personality, because I'm doing my job right. So that's why I think that if you're a model and you're beautiful and you have a perfect face, it's not enough. People should trust you, so you should not late. I was on every casting, even I'm actually not from Budapest, I'm from another city, like 1 hour from Budapest.
And now in Chengdu and speak Chinese.
And every time, like there was some casting or some job, doesn't matter if the salary was not high, I went and every time I was there and they were seeing my face and they said, wow.
And you always got booked.
Yeah, this person I can
always
trust.
wanted to ask you, why did you book me? I mean, like, okay, so we both have profile in Diamond Rivercast Agency,
Yeah.
the name. How did you got booked? How did I got booked?
Because I think her face, what she said, it's really, really exotic. So I would say even it's impossible to find in Europe. It's very hard. So when I saw her first, I'm like, wow, this is exactly would be perfect in our international fashion magazine. And actually, it was in every airplane. So all
But
people.
can I have a coffee? Okay, so by the way,
You'll find it.
Okay, so my profile can be found in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, China,
All over Europe.
Europe, yes, and because now I'm also like a Hollywood actress, United States, so around the world. So yeah, and so he booked me in Budapest. So like personality-wise, for model, you could become as a booker. So having David to share this experience is more than perfect in this video, and I became as a host and all that,
And yeah, this is what I think another very important thing. And we are both a good example. So when you start as a model, you can get from modeling you can be something more also. I mean, look at you also, like also doing hosting, doing acting. I'm also doing influencer. I'm also opening a company. I'm also doing acting. So you can because you have a lot of connections. You travel around the world. This is the other good thing about modeling, I think. And you can get some different opportunities, not only modeling.
yeah, and also another thing is like we really want to sincerely want to share our experience through our working experience to tell all of you, whoever would like to kickstart it, right? Because it's really important to have right information to get things started, or to break all the stereotype first, right? Because of how people have the conception about modeling. But I'm just saying that you and me right there who's watching, we all are the same.
Yeah.
Yes. We need to
Everybody can.
We need to present ourselves as a whole package, and yeah, like talking about the personality wise. So okay, now we talk about the body. So at least 184, 5 cm for male and above. What about the physique? Do you have to be skinny? Do you have be buffy?
So actually, this is a very
Caucasians?
interesting question. So
Yeah.
in different markets, they like different type of models. So in Europe, actually, they still prefer the more skinny type of the models, while in the US,
Whether it's male or female.
yeah, while in
Europe.
the US and in Asia, they really, really like the muscular type. I'm now talking about the male models. So it's different market and different type of models they like.
What
This is
about
how
in
it's
China
changing.
right now?
In China also, they love muscle models. So I think that's why I was working the most in China. Really, I mean, I also had like one day I had 3-4 jobs even before.
So it's just really important to know exactly like your body type. You have to prepare about, oh, now if I want to get started off my modeling, I make sure that I have to like make sure I try to adapt the way I eat, my body physique, because it's like I actually have friends, male or female, just come and approach me. Oh, sincerely and politely, like, can I get started? Or sometimes they are just making fun or like, oh, how can I be as a model? And like from the bottom of my heart and also sincerely, sometimes it's like, because we work hard, we've been through all that, and I have to look at that friend. It's like sometimes I want to be really honest. It's like, I don't see yourself in the next 5 months in this industry, or like I don't see you're suitable. But I don't say that because it's
you
like,
can never be
like I can't say that directly, because it's like, first you gotta know all this work on your personality first. Are you well prepared first? Do you have the right body first? Do you have the right mindset? When you have all this and then you come to speak with us and want to like us to share experience, we're more than delightful to like, it's like,
And one more important thing actually, because I think many people, and especially female models, worry about this, like, oh, I'm too old for modeling or something like this. But this is also not true, because I never forget, I had a friend in Shanghai. She's a female model, she's a black female model, and she was, that time was 47. Every day she was working. Every day she had like advertisement shooting for, she's beautiful. And then especially like for kind of like a cream for the wrinkles, you know. So I mean, for all the type of models and for all the ages, they have some kind of opportunities and some kind of jobs. So never too late to start.
Never limit yourself.
Never late to start.
It's like, just because David right now he's speaking from as a booker perspective, not a model, like as a booker. So, and I would like to share, but I think this is the best way that we could share through giving the right information. Then you know, like, because we can't really help a person just by helping like that, right? But by giving the right information and the right direction, that is the best way that we could actually help. And I mean, from a booker perspective, it's very nice for any male, females out there that would like to work in the US, China, anywhere around the world. Please come and write some comments for me. Ask me any question, because like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm like a big sister right now. I just want to like share
our experiences,
because like we went through a stage that we wanted opportunities as well. We could understand that, but again, it's like I could only help when you're well prepared. So like, this is the best way that we could just provide the right information right here. So it's just really nice, and like, you know, as a booker, so it's just from a different perspective right here that we are sharing together right here in this video. Okay, so let's talk about mindset. I think the body is just very clear, right? So as a female, you don't have to be like voluptuous, you don't have to be super skinny. To book a job, you have to know your market well. Like for example, before you head to this agency, you already know like what type of models or agencies they are taking. Or like before you're approaching a market, you already know exactly what they are looking for. So sometimes like, it's more of like when you have a job, it's not just, I'm just gonna give what the client are looking for, but I will give extra more, extra 30%, extra 50%. So there's so much more that we could offer. Yes?
And actually about mindset, I have a very good example, because you know, so many models, they give up on modeling so easy. So I think my example is really like one of the best examples that if you have a dream, you should never give up. So my first contract was in Tokyo. It was in 2011. So after 1 month, 2011, March 11, the biggest earthquake happened in Japan, 9.0, and tsunami.
Which
and
year was that?
2011. So it was the biggest earthquake, 9.0. It was tsunami. It was nuclear disaster in Fukushima, and my embassy was calling, you have to come home because the situation is very dangerous. And it was true. All the models left because Japan was dangerous, but I stayed there. I said, no, my dream is to become an international model. I will not gonna give up. And it was a good decision because all the models left, so I had more jobs, and I also shoot 2 movies in Japan, that I'm in Tokyo. So this is a very good example that if you have a dream, you should not do not.
So we
give
have
up,
a model, booker, and an actor here. Professional actor.
Yes.
Because
so,
now he's also a professional actor in China, right?
Yeah.
So you mean you actually did 2 movies in Japan?
Yes.
You never even told me.
Yeah.
That was already when I first met you. You already
Yes.
did. Wow.
Yes.
What was the role? You speak.
It was 2 movies. One is Terma Roma and the other one is Andalusia. It was smaller roles, but in China, I got like a big role. I was killer in the movie.
So which is
actually.
So which is rewind, talking about the mindsets, right?
Yeah.
So I think like, I don't know, like for me, the mindset is you have to be very strong.
Yeah,
You have to be strong mindset in everything you do, in any industry. It's like to get started. A lot of people want to get started. It's always very, very hard. To even want to get into an industry, it's like it feels like it's still very far away. But when you have a strong mindset, it's like you have a healthy mindset. I said that this is exactly what I want to do.
This is my goal, and what kind of steps
I'm
I need
serious.
to do for that.
I'm very serious about it, and we just gave you all the steps just now. So you just follow the steps, and having a right mindset. Be perseverance. Perseverance isn't like you go to agencies. There will always gonna be a place for you. There will always going to be a place for you. It's just a matter of time. So, that's why you have to be very strong. Disciplined. You got to be disciplined in what you want. Right? Like, for example, like I remember like when I first started my career already, I have so many beautiful friends. Like, I think they are so much more beautiful than me. And then like after less than, I don't know, 5 months, they're no longer there. Because they
give up so fast.
They are not serious. They just want to try out for the fun.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of people just coming us and asking us, how do we be a model? Something like that.
I have a very good example actually for this, because when I was leading the model agency in Budapest, I got a phone call from a small city, not Budapest, from a small city, and the girl called me like, she said, oh my god, my dream is to become a model in Tokyo. She's telling me. I said, okay, but first I said, you're now dreaming about Tokyo, first you should come to Budapest, and then let's talk, let's have a talk, and we will see the other steps. And she's like, Budapest? I don't know how I can go there. It's like, she said, I'm from the countryside, I'm from a small city, I don't know how to go there. I said, so you want to go to Tokyo, but you're still not able to go to Budapest?
Know your direction. You know your direction. For example, you know your market. Like, if you know China market, if you know US market, if you know Budapest market, looking for Eurasian, then you give them what they want.
Yeah.
You go, like, when you're that country, then you portray that kind of images, that what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So which is so important. So it's like you're so clear with your direction. You know exactly where you want to go. So like, if I want to be as a model, I'm so serious. It's like, that's why like I started 2003, and now I'm forever grateful. Like now 2020, I'm still in my industry. Like, like now I'm also working, like shooting as a TV host and everything, like even in Singapore. I still have, like at home here, you'll still always remember me for jobs and everything, because they remember us for being serious, for our personality, for the jobs that we did before, for because of that we know, and one thing is like why I say about serious is like you need to have a passion in whatever you do. You can't just say, oh, I just want to do this thing for the sake of just doing it, but you didn't mean it, and then you don't have the passion in it, and it will not last long. So I'm forever grateful that I remember when I was 13, or maybe I don't know when, like, you know, like teachers ask like, what do you want to do in life? I've always aspired to be as an editorial model. Yeah,
And dream came
you
true.
know, like, yes. Yeah, so like I'm forever grateful. I'm doing my ideal job right now. It's like not like the beauty fashion campaign. It's like editorial model. I'm so and right now I'm working what I'm working, and you know, like when they're saying if you're working on a career that you love, you're serious about, you never have to work a single day.
Yeah. And
As
so
if,
many
like, you're
people
not
doing
working.
like what they don't want to do, and this is not good, you know. So I'm also so happy that I can do what I want, what I love to do, and this is amazing.
And from there, it's like we can do for many years and more to come, right?
Yeah.
And so much more that we can do from here, right?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's why it's like from so many things, from a model to a host, from a model to an actor,
To influencer
to
also.
very similar like path that we could show all of you guys, which is so important.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, before we talk about my bio, how it gets started, your body, your mind, and one last thing before we talk about one last thing, let's just talk just slightly a little bit like about real life of a model, like like about like when we travel to different countries, the experience, like what are the pros, what are the cons, just in general, model.
So actually, what I think that really because of modeling, I learned so much in life. Because, actually my parents always wanted to take care of me so much, even when I was like already over 18. And I think, when you start to model and you start to travel around the world, you understand that it's just you by yourself, like nobody can help you. And of course, I had a lot of negative and positive experience also. I told you also about the earthquake and the tsunami and the nuclear.
Wait up?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I told you guys that actually by modeling you can learn so many things, and you will always have negative and positive experiences. So I feel like I grew up so fast because I had to live in different countries.
What have you learned actually? You always have to.
What I learned is now I feel that I can
How many
really.
years since 2012? Which year did you started?
No, actually, like traveling abroad as a model 2011, so almost 10 years. But before that, I also was traveling to US and to many countries. But as a work, I started in 2011.
So we understand. We have same. I started 2003, but after 7 years, only I started to like go Indonesia, Singapore. So it's 2000.
Yeah.
So we're the same.
Yeah, exactly. So what I learned is any problem I face, I think I can really easily solve it right now. And it's really true that they have a saying that if traveling is a book and you never go to any country, it's just the same like you buy a book and you always just look at the first page, and you never go to the second page. And every year when I go back to my country, I see the people like not developing, I mean, I feel they are not like, they're in the same mind. It doesn't matter how many university they graduated and what type of works they have done, because I think that, it really opens your mind when you travel around, you see things and you understand different cultures. And of course, when you're living as a foreigner in different kind of countries, different kind of cultures, this is an unbelievable, amazing experience. No any university can teach you. What do you think?
I think that's the best career to have, where you could really to have a career, not just being as a model, but you could see the world and experience life, and coming home, and you could actually write a storybook about it.
Actually, yeah. Our next project, I think, write a book. Really, yeah.
Because for me, personal experience as well. They're just so. If you want to talk about my career, I have so many amazing experiences. Whether being as a model, being as an actress, a celebrity, just so many beautiful things, so many beautiful views, so many best people in the industry.
Yeah, you meet amazing people from all over the
yes,
world, you know.
And like cultures and experience, and it's all like the best thing, and like really like coming home really could write about the storybook, and it's still evolving from there.
Yeah.
And still counting. That's the best thing about it. So yeah, okay, and like I think you did. Let's just rewind a bit. You did talk about like if you travel a country, you sometimes do tend. Let's to be realistic. You sometimes tend to be alone. You feel alone.
Yeah, many times.
I don't know. Like for me, when I travel, like when I like Indonesia, like Hong Kong, like China, I always book a job first before I go there. Okay, so there's always like two ways. Some of the models, they may, right? You will not book a job. You will go to that country first.
Yeah, you will go to castings and stuff.
You will go to
if you are a very professional model, you know, by the time it happens that they just already book you for the jobs and they provide the tickets and hotel and all the stuff.
So which is, in my case, yes. Most of the cases, like in Singapore, China, like Indonesia, I already have a shoot, a campaign shoot, or like I know there's an agency to meet, there's a function to attend, and then when I arrive, I know exactly my careers and everything. So, but there are some paths. If you arrive in the country, you have to pay with your own money, right? And then you walk into agencies and you put your profile there, and then you stay for like 3 months, 5 months to see whether you get booked. So there will be like two options. So the cons is like sometimes you really tend to get like alone.
But normally agencies will pay for your ticket and your stay. But maybe you will not work enough, and your balance will be even negative, and you cannot make money.
But
so
you know,
it
like
happens.
it happens as in like, but once you get a big campaign, a big job, it covers you the whole year.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, which is really fruitful, right? Like when you get a really good big campaign shoot, that's where like you don't have to work for the next 6 months or a year. That's it. Okay, yeah. So, and fast forward, last but not least, is we would like to talk about education. So I started my career as when I graduated. So, which I am forever grateful for that. It's like, I think maybe looking back, if I were to start modeling before I graduated, maybe I will be turned out to be as a different model.
Education is very important.
Yes, and
me too. Actually, I graduated before I started to go abroad.
So I graduated in economics and
international
business and finance. Yeah. So, and I always we would like to emphasize, being as a male or a female,
education is still very important.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. When you have the knowledge, that knowledge will further you so much in everything that you do. All right, so I guess we're done with what we are going to share today. And thank you, David, to be here.
I'm happy to be here.
with me.
Yeah.
And finally catching up since Budapest.
Yeah, 8 years already.
Since 2012. And you have to... So I booked for a cover shoot for International Fashion and Travel magazine. I have yet seen that, but the best part is I did the shoot and I was interviewed by the Budapest, the most famous infotainment channel, right? With
it's still on the internet.
1 million viewers. It's like so amazing. It's like Madonna arriving or like whoever. DJs arriving, they interview them, and they interviewed me when I arrived in Budapest. And you have to bring me that magazine, please.
I will talk with Richie.
Yes. Alrighty. Okay, guys. So that's the few tips that we have for you. And so if you like anything about get interested, you could write me. If you want to know a little bit about like how to get a book, book David, write through me, ask me questions, comment in my sections, and let's stay connected. And or if you would like to see anything about my beauty regime, my skincare, or like being as an artist, all the beautiful brands, the people, stay connected. And all the good stuff. And I will see you soon in my next video. See you.
See you guys.